I've been accused of running a cult, and cults have such a negative connotation in our society. But let's stop and think about what a cult actually offers people: connection, community, a place for them to put their disposable income, a reason for them to stop talking to their family. There's so many valuable things that a cult can provide people, yet we constantly view it as some sort of pejorative where people are being like, oh, don't join, that guy's organization. It's a cult. I want to reframe that and be like, no, come join. Yes, it is a cult. Also, you're welcome. Lawsuits going on, so I can't speak completely openly about it. But people were like, oh my God, was there a scandal at your yoga studio? Oh my God. And I'm always like, yeah, is there not a scandal at your yoga studio? Because if there isn't, how good is the yoga they're really teaching you there? If they're not stretching ethical boundaries, how well are they really able to help you stretch your body, your own boundaries? So I'm always encouraging people to push a little bit further than what might technically be legal. Taking a lesson from psychedelics and bringing it to the financial realm and to capitalism, which I always love, because within the psychedelic journey, we've often, shared this notion that like, oh, what's happening in the cosmos and outer space in this grand scale is also what's happening on this microscopic scale inside our molecules and what you see under a microscope, that the galaxies outside us are inside us. And by that same approach, via capitalism, if you can sell something for 10 times as much while actually just delivering 1/10 of the product, then you've really kind of united the galaxy of finance with the molecules of profit in a way that I think is super impressive. Pretty much anyone who's selling athletic greens is really where I start off with my healing journey. So I'm a big fan of nutritional supplements, preferably ones that I've never heard of before, because I'm always like living life on the nutrition edge, really. And I tend to, focus, I guess, sometimes I'm attracted to my tribe. So they are a lot of middle-aged white men. But I always try to, inform people that that's a very reductive way to view me, because I was an immigrant woman of color in a past life. And so I feel to just judge me by my current vessel is very reductive. All the work that I do with climate justice acupuncture, which is obviously, branching out and healing the entire world as opposed to just one specific group. And just to clarify, a lot of people, they're confused. Am I doing acupuncture on myself that heals climate justice? No, I'm actually traveling around the world, putting needles in the soil all over the world so the planet can start to heal itself. And beyond that, start to take some responsibility for its own health. Because one thing that I've noticed about the planet is that it's constantly blaming systemic issues. It's blaming others for whatever ills that it's feeling. And I think it's about time planet Earth start to look in the mirror. Because one of my big inspirations in the movie Clockwork Orange, where the protagonist has his eyes held open by toothpicks as violent imagery is shown to him, I've always wondered, like, well, what if we could take society, force their eyes open with toothpicks, but fill them with messages of love and compassion and empathy and capitalism all at the same time, and sort of force them into their bloodstream and into their consciousness in a way that there's no way for them to ever avoid them moving forward. And wouldn't that be a path to increased love and light in our universe? I just think it's a beautiful vision for all of us to think about when we do have our eyes propped open with toothpicks. I did something similar with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in one of our sessions, where we actually were able to diagnose some of their ancestral pain back to Harry's relatives actually being the ones who built Stonehenge. They weren't actually doing the building, but they were having their, I don't know if slaves is the right word, their employees build Stonehenge.
Please.
And obviously all the ancestral trauma that comes through the guilt of knowing that your ancestors were the ones who forced others to build Stonehenge has manifested today in Harry's OCD. And so felt very fortunate to be able to help him get to the bottom of that. And it's something that especially is important to me because I actually have one of my children is named Stonehenge. Along with obviously my other children, Taj Mahal, Mausoleum, and Clooney.